John Meeks here again with CrossFit Greensboro and War of the Wads, here to do the video for team event number 2, Snatch Me If You Can. This workout was taken from one of the open workouts last year and modified to a little bit shorter time limit. We're going to go through this for first the RX men, women, scaled men and women, which is a little bit different workout than the co-ed RX and co-ed scaled. So the way this works is a 12-minute time limit. Both athletes must complete 40 over-the-bar burpees. We'll talk about the standards of that in just a second. Then both athletes together must get 30 snatches. This means that one person can do all the snatches. This means one person can do 5 and the other person can do 25. You can break it up however you like. The one thing that we do request is that when you're changing working athletes, you must slap hands to let the judge know that you're going from one athlete to the other. Okay? So it'll start off with 30 snatches. For the RX men, that's 75 pounds. RX women, that's 45 pounds. Scaled men, 75. Scaled women, 35. Then it'll go to 30 over-the-bar burpees. Now, in the case if one athlete is doing this and they want to change the weight for the next snatch, the other athlete can do that. Any athlete can change the weight. The only thing is, if they put the wrong weight on the bar, and it is less than what is prescribed, and the other athlete starts snatching, those reps will not count. Doesn't matter if they get 30 reps done, if it's not the correct weight on the bar, it will not count. So they'll go to 30 over-the-bar burpees, and then the next weight, 30 snatches, 135 for men, 75 for RX women, 95 for scaled men, 55 for scaled women. Then 20 over-the-bar burpees, 30 snatches, 165, 95, 135, and 75. And finally, 10 burpees. And then at this point, it's an AMRAP, as many reps as possible, 215, 120, 165, and 95. Okay? That's the RX men, women, and scaled men and women. It's a little different when we go into the co-ed version of this workout. On the co-ed version, basically what happens is they still have 40 over-the-bar burpees that they can alternate between athletes, but then athlete 1 must do all 30 snatches at the prescribed weight of 35 for RX and 35 for scaled, and then the athlete number 2 has to do 30 snatches at 75 for RX and 75 for scaled. Now when this changes is actually on the next round. After doing 30 burpees, then they go 30 snatches, 75, 55 for scaled, 30 snatches, 135, 95 for scaled. 20 burpees, then it goes to 30 snatches, 95 for RX, 75 for scaled, 30 snatches, 165 RX, 135 scaled, and then 10 burpees, and then an AMRAP. You pick one athlete to choose the weight. Athlete weight 1 is 120, athlete 2's weight is 215, athlete 1's weight is 95, athlete 2's weight is 165 in the scaled version. So this is a little bit different version. I do not expect a lot of people to get through this, obviously. Put it out there just in case someone was able or capable of doing that. But it's a little bit different workout here. In the case of this, you must choose athlete 1 at the beginning, and they must stay athlete 1 throughout the workout. You cannot change who athlete 1 is from one point to the other. Athlete 1 does not necessarily have to be a male or female athlete. In the case that you might want to choose athlete 1 as a male athlete, athlete 2 as a female athlete, that's perfectly fine. But that person has to complete all 30 snatches before going to the next athlete, and they must tag hands in between that. Okay? Now let's talk about standards of the movements. Over-the-bar burpees. We discussed this in the individual workout as well. In the case of an empty bar, if you've got an empty bar here on the ground, it's still going to be the same. You're just going to place the bar up on a set of plates. But you have to physically jump over the bar. Now, the burpees can be bar-facing burpees, or you can be parallel to the ground, bar-facing being this way. The rule is that you have to jump off of both feet. So go down and do a burpee, boom, chest on the ground, and jump off of both feet. Boom. Now, make sure the chest hits the ground on the rep. Make sure you jump off of both feet. Now, you do not have to come to full extension. In this case, it's going to be parallel to the bar. Go down and do a burpee, and I want you to jump over, but never extend. Okay, so he can stay down low and do that. Now, the thing that we're looking for as a no rep is if he jumps over the bar and his hands hit the ground before his feet. So do a burpee, sort of like a worm, boom, up, and then you want to jump. Okay, that was almost the same time. That would probably be no rep in that case, but it's the idea is the feet have to hit the ground before the hands. Okay? The other thing that we're looking for, when I've already demonstrated this, and this is just on a regular bar, is when you do a burpee, you jump off on one foot and then rather than both feet. So it goes down and does a burpee, He's going to jump off of 1 foot to come over. That will be no rep. You have to jump off of both feet and going over the bar. Okay? In talking about the snatch, basically we take the bar from the ground to overhead in one continuous movement. Okay? So we're going to set up, boom. Bar sticking overhead in one continuous movement and stand it up at full extension, knees and hips aligned, bar over the shoulder. Okay? Now, he can power snatch, he can squat snatch. Okay, let's do a squat snatch. Boom. As long as he stands up all the way at the bar, he can do a split snatch. I'm going to put Rudy to the test today. Boom. As long as he resets, feet underneath the hips, full alignment, shoulder, hips, feet, and ground all the way up. All that is fine. He can press out on the bar if he catches the bar above his head. Okay? So if he catches the bar, just say here, I know this is hard for Rudy to do, but I'm asking him to do a bad snatch. And then presses it up, boom. That is going to be acceptable as long as the bar is kept above the head, or it's caught above the head. If it makes contact with the head, or is caught below the head at eye level or whatever, that's not really a snatch, and that will not count. That will be no rep in that case. Okay? Let's see. We've got the burpees, we've got the snatches. One thing that's important, you've got two team athletes working together. Say, Rudy's snatching. Go ahead. Boom. He's ready to take a break. When he switches off to hollow steer, got to make sure they clap hands. And they can do that, however, as long as they make contact, clapping hands in between reps. Good. Same thing with the burpees. Okay, if one athlete is doing a burpee, the burpee is completed when the athlete jumps over the bar and both feet hit the ground. So if he does a burpee, boom, boom, he can clap hands, bam. Rudy jumps in, and he's over the bar. That's it. The key is that they have to make contact in between each rep by slapping hands. And this is team event number 2, snatching if you can. Thanks.